Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about a game that's been out a while called Army of Frogs by Big Daddy's Creations. This is their second release and more of a family game than their other two releases. It's been out for a while, but I think it's a great game, and this video is a great chance to look at its interesting graphics as well as the interesting components of the original game. Army of Frogs is a simple game. It comes with a bag of colored frog tokens, as well as tokens to mark which color each player is. The tokens are made of a sturdy ceramic material and are very nice to play with. In Army of Frogs, every player takes all the frogs of their colors and mixes them in a bag. Then, one of the frogs from the bag is drawn to start the game. Each player receives a hand of 2 frogs and must move one of their frogs and then play one of the tiles from their hand each turn. When they have played their tile, they draw a new tile from the bag. So, blue player would start by moving his frog, and then he would play one of the tiles from his hand. Because it is of the opponent's color, he will try to put it in the least beneficial position for that opponent. Players can also play frogs of their own color, but these may not be placed next to any of their existing frogs. There are only 2 other simple rules to the game. The first is that there can only ever be one island of frogs, meaning you cannot split the group of frogs. They must all be connected. The second rule is that you cannot have a line of more than 3 frogs straight, so you cannot continue to make a straight line of frogs, but you must keep them in a tight group where possible. Army of Frogs is a fun and interesting abstract game, and the pieces and their sturdiness make it great for families and for travel. This really is one of the most interesting abstract games I've played. Army of Frogs is the second game from Big Daddy's Creations, who previously did Hiroshima Hex. That app was praised for its great graphic design and great gameplay. Little known fact is that the Big Daddy's Creations guys, who are mostly programmers, did all that graphic design on their own. However, in the case of Army of Frogs, they decided to hire a graphic designer, and I think it really shows here, where though the graphic design was good before, here it is excellent and really captures the nature of this family game. Army of Frogs has many of the standard play options we've come to expect. For example, there are both local and internet games. In local games, you can play with players on one device, which works very well on Army of Frogs, or with computer players. You can also play with a mix of computer and human players. This gives users of the app many options and allows them to really explore the fun of this game, whether they're by themselves or with others around one device. Players can choose the number of players they would like to play in the game, and then can start. This is between 2 and 4 players. There are built-in tutorial screens, which we'll talk more about later, but they really do help new players learn the game. The information is all clearly visible on the screen. It shows whose turn it is, and it will show you how many of your colored frogs are on the board, as well as how many are connected in a single group. The goal of Army of Frogs is to have a group of all your frogs connected of 7 or more. As the game progresses, players continue to have options to play their frogs and make connections. The board can be moved around, zoomed in and out, and also there are a lot of fun little Easter eggs on the board. For example, players can click on fish or dragonflies on the board to scare them away. Apart from local games, there are also internet games. Players can have multiple games running at once and can play in an async manner with other players online. This online system has also been used in the newest Big Daddy's Creations release, which is called Kalis. It is a good system and works well. The online servers of this game seem to be quite empty as of now, but I think this was a good proof of concept for their system, and it works great in Kalis, which is receiving a lot of attention right now. The game also features standard options for music and sound effects, as well as ways to connect on Facebook and other social networking platforms. The game, as explained before, has both built-in rules and a tutorial. This tutorial is a series of screens, but is very visual and is a great way to explain how to play the game. The manual is even more detailed and has written rules that break down everything, but really the rules are quite simple, and it appears that the tutorial does a great job of teaching most everything that is included in the game. There are also built-in achievements, as well as connections to previous games. These achievements are quite fun and give some motivation for single play. Army of Frogs is one of my favorite family games on iOS, and I feel that it excels on iPad. It really is a great way to play this game. It has great single player modes, as well as a great pass and play mode where players can play on a single device. This really works well for this game, as it is abstract and there is no hidden information. I really recommend this game for families especially, but also for gamers that want a nice solo distraction.